Hello students, we discuss about an important topic of communication, barriers to communication. Okay, communication is an integral part of all living things. Communication barrier means failure of communication process through different ways like information overload, emotion or language, etc. Okay, so due to various barriers of communication, when the message from the sender is not received by the receiver in the original form, it is called miscommunication or the barriers of communication. Okay, then in this video we discuss about 10 types of barriers of communication: physical barrier, organizational barrier, cultural barrier, language barrier, channel barrier, interpersonal barrier, individual attitudinal listening barrier, and also barriers while speaking. Okay, let's discuss one by one. Okay, the first one, physical barrier. It arises due to the nature of environment. Environment include internal and external environment. Okay, for example, if staff are located in different building or on a different site. Okay, then another one, poor or outdated equipment. It will lead to the failure of management to introduce the new technology to create a problem to the organization. Then staff shortage is another factor which frequently cause communication difficulties for an organization. Okay, so it is called a physical barrier. Next one, organizational barrier. These barriers are related to organizational structure, authority relationship, rules and regulation. Okay, organizational structure greatly affect the capabilities of employees. This barriers refers to some problem in the flow of information among the employees that lead to commercial failure of an organization. Okay, it includes strict rules and policies, complex organizational structure, then loss of message as they pass from one level to another, and poor organizational culture or climate. Okay, this is called organizational barrier. Then the third one, cultural barriers. Okay, here people who live in various cultures and communicate differently and have different pattern of thought. For example, in America, people shake hands and even hug each other. Okay, but in India, they join hands to say hello or namaskar. Okay, this is called cultural barrier. Then the fourth one, semantic barrier. It refers to the misunderstanding between the sender and receiver. Okay, this can happen due to different situation, like the different meaning of word or other symbol. Also, it arises due to language, education, place of origin, etc. Okay, so it is related to language barrier in a communication. Okay. Then the fifth one, channel barrier. Channel barrier is also called media barrier. Okay, channel is a bridge or media of communication between the sender and receiver. If the length of communication is long or the selection of inappropriate media, that lead to break up our communication. Okay, to create interpersonal conflict between the sender and receiver. It hamper, it destroy the clarity, accuracy and effectiveness. Okay, it is called a channel barrier or media barrier. Then sixth one, interpersonal barrier. It arises due to the inappropriate translation of words between two or more people or in inefficiency of communication skill. Example of interpersonal barrier include lack of trust in employees, lack of knowledge of non-verbal clues like facial expression, body language and eye contact. Then another one, no consideration for employee needs. Then bypassing information overloading. Okay, then lack of cooperation and lack of motivation and fear of penalty Then another one, relationship, poor relationship with the employer. Okay, all these lead to interpersonal barrier. Okay, then seventh one, individual barrier. It is a result of individual perception and personal discomfort. Okay, this barrier created by the sender and receiver. It includes differences in personality, fear, and inattention. Inattention means it's from lack of interest about subject and suffering from disease or any family problem. Okay, it is called individual barrier. Next one, attitudinal barriers. Attitudes are commonly formed by an individual opinion or personal feeling. It can be difficult to alter. Okay, attitudinal barriers are the behavior, perception that prevent people from communicating properly. Okay, it is called attitudinal barriers. Ninth one, barriers to listening. Many people don't listen well. Okay, effective listening is one of the most important skill to solve complex problem. Here, listening barrier include perception, lack of feedback, environmental noise such as sound of traffic or people talking, etc. Okay, active listening is a good thing to do when we want to communicate well with the people and earn their trust and respect. Okay, active listening is one of the most effective method to overcome listening barrier. Okay. Then the last one, barriers while speaking. Okay, these are the certain barriers while speaking. The first one, unclear message and a lack of consistency in communication process, an incomplete sentence, then not understanding the receiver in the message, and not seeking clarifications while communicating. Okay, these are the barriers while speaking. Okay. Last we discussed how to overcome these all communication barriers. Okay, certain tips. First one, use of simple language. It helps to understand the message easily, so we can use simple language to communicate. Then active listening, already discussed, it can reduce the listening barrier. Then emotional state means emotional awareness. It is the ability to understand the feeling. When communicating with other people, you will understand the emotion of that people. It's better to understand what others are communicating to you. Then, flexibility in meeting the target and simple organizational structure can reduce the organizational barrier and avoid information overload. Then, proper media selection can reduce the barrier of channel barrier. Okay, proper media selection is helpful to reduce the channel barrier. Then, an important one is feedback. Give constructive feedback. Feedback is a receiver response. It is very important in communication. It enables the sender to evaluate the effectiveness of the message. Without feedback, in communication remain incomplete. Okay. So these are the certain tips to overcome the communication barriers. Okay. Thank you.